The Gambia Revenue Authority GRA for the first time hosted the West African Union of Tax Institute WAUTI Annual International Tax Conference. The 2023 conference is the 9th WAUTI Annual International Conference since its inception in 2011. The theme of the conference is Rethinking Taxation for Human Development and Economic Prosperity. WAUTI is an association formed by the Chartered Institute of Taxation of Nigeria CITN and the Chartered Institute of Taxation of Ghana CITG with the objective of developing and promoting the taxation profession in West Africa. The WAUTI Annual International Tax Conference was instituted as a platform for idea generation, knowledge development, networking, and to discuss issues of taxation and economic development among professionals in the region. The conference also provides a unique opportunity for leading tax experts from corporations, governments, academia, international and national experts and advisors, as well as regional and international organizations to discuss contemporary issues which are of great and lasting impact on the people and economies. Honorable Sidi Keita, Minister of Finance and Economic Affairs, speaking on behalf of President Adama Barrow, highlights the importance of tax in domestic revenue mobilization while urging WAUTI to broaden the tax base, not the tax burden.
It is important to note that most resilient source of revenue for development should be on the domestic resource mobilization, as revenue from international trade and external sources are subject to volatilities beyond our control. As such, the tax administration in West African region should aim at broadening the tax base and not increasing the tax burden in a drive to increase domestic resource mobilization. As a low-income country, the Gambia and other regional countries suffer from large infrastructure deficits, and public expenditure in infrastructure must be carried to improve the factors of growth in order to support revenue, performance, and resilience. As the role of the taxation is revenue mobilization, it is important to ensure public investments do not further worsen the vulnerabilities in an already tight fiscal space characterized by low performance of international revenues from taxation.
Mr. Yankuba Dabo, the Commissioner General of GRA, describes their tax system as simple that will positively impact small income earners.
It is also important to ensure that our tax system is simple, transparent, and easy to comply. A complex tax code can create barriers to economic participation and disproportionately impact small businesses and low-income earners. At this conference, we will have the opportunity from a variety of experts drawn from different fields of revenue administration on how we should rethink our taxation system in order to better promote human development and improve the life of all citizens.
Her Excellency Miata French, the resident representative of ECOWAS to the Gambia, explains the importance of taxation in government's expenditures on needy people.
According to the United Nations Office of the Human Rights Commissioner, all states are responsible for mobilizing the resources necessary to implement their international obligations to promote and protect and fulfill human rights. The collection of taxes and allocation of resources is essential to the realization of the right to development and requires efficient and equitable state action. Progressive taxation plays an important and redistributive role, ensuring the equitable sharing of wealth. Government expenditures funded by taxation are essential to guaranteeing access to basic services for all, including the poor and disadvantaged groups that face discrimination. This strong association of resource mobilization with the distribution of public services by governments clearly underscores the importance of taxation for human development and economic prosperity.
Mr. Sunday Okiwo, Director of the Special Tax Audit Department of the Federal Inland Revenue Service, Nigeria, believes the experts at the conference would bring ideas that can rejuvenate the economy of Africa at large.
I have no doubt in my mind that this is a gathering of specialists of great minds who can bring forth laudable ideas that will chart the path for the economic rejuvenation of the West African continent in particular, and the continent of Africa in general. The task of economic transformation of our nations is a task for all. It is a task that should have been accomplished in the past decades, and we must be resolute about it.
Mr. Ayodele Subaya, Executive Chairman of Lagos Internal Revenue Service, highlights the important steps CITN and CITG have taken to improve taxation in West Africa for the past 12 years.
In the last 12 years, we have consistently witnessed with great pride the growth of tax administration across the region and the continent as a whole. We have since moved from the days when the Chartered Institute of Taxation of Nigeria and that of Ghana worked tirelessly in promoting tax institutes in other African states to what we have today. It is indeed applaudable the collective efforts of all tax authorities across sub-Saharan Africa over the years, particularly through their unwavering mission and ideals. Tax authorities across the continent have shown tremendous improvement in their efforts to harness the potentials and grow the tax to GDP ratio of the various countries. Lagos, as a state in Nigeria, recorded the highest revenue collected in its history last year.
The West African Union of Taxation WAUTI was inaugurated on 11 May 2011 by James Victor Gibbo, President of the Economic Community of West African States ECOWAS at the time. Since its inception, numerous countries, including the Gambia, have established tax institutes to promote taxation in West Africa. Reporting for Kerr, Fatou, I am Landin Cisse.